Hello guys, this is going to be a remake video of my party system I made like 5 months ago. That one is pretty shitty, so I remade it today, or I remade some increments today, and I'm going to split this up into an incremental series, so like maybe we'll have 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts, whatever I'm feeling. But today we're just going to discuss actually setting up a module for the party system, and this is going to be a whole remake of the party system in general. So let's first getting started. Replica to storage. Make sure to have a module script. We're gonna use this so I can get data from the client and the server just to see stuff. It's gonna be really useful, and we're also gonna be using object-oriented programming inside of this module script. So this is gonna be a nice introduction, a very applicable case for objects and classes and constructors and whatnot. Then we're also gonna have the UI. Make sure you have a local script for the UI because we're gonna set up all the stuff for inviting, kicking, everything. I have a mainframe here. Set it up however you'd like, but make sure your references are correct in your actual script when we start scripting that. I have the title. We're not going to be using this, but it's just a title. I have the frame on the side to show your party, and then this side to show all the players you can invite from the game. So it's gonna show. This is gonna show all the players in the game you can invite. This is gonna be everybody in your party. I'm gonna have this handler right here. That's gonna create and leave party. It's gonna be the same button for that. Inside the invite frame, I have this template. It's gonna be an image button, so we can actually click this to invite the player and the name of that player. And then in here, I have a template for each player in the party. We're going to duplicate this. This is going to be the button for kicking players from your party. I'm going to name this, I'm gonna name this kick. And I'm going to make this invisible for the default, actually. Next thing is the image for the player and the name. And yeah, so make your templates invisible for when we actually open the frame and everything. And yeah, just design it, your UI, however you'd like. Just make sure we have these key components so we can reference it right. Or just have this is kind of like a template UI. It's not an official UI. This is something I made. So make it however you'd like. Set up your script however you'd like. And yeah, I have this local script. We're not going to be using that in today's video. It's going to be probably in the next video. I have this open button. So I'm going to make this frame not visible. And then we'll be actually using the local script in today's video just to test out. But yeah, so this is something I made earlier. When I was testing this. But ignore this for now. So yeah, we're going to have all the references and everything we want, our frame, our buttons, replicator storage for the module. We're going to require the module right here. And the button activated, we're going to say the frame is not visible, and we're going to call this function update details. This is the actual child in the class and everything, or for our oops, so we're going to get into this in a second. So next things next, what I'm going to do is we're going to hop in the party module, and I'm going to actually close this. So yeah, first things first, I renamed my module to party. I set it to this table. And we're gonna set the index to the party. This is kind of an introductory video. I'm gonna have a dedicated video to object-oriented programming later, but for now, dot underscore index. This is a meta method, so this lets us actually say. So if we say right here, party dot underscore index is equal to party. What this is doing is I'm gonna delete this. This is a meta method for that meta table, and party is a meta table. The way it's a meta table is in this new function. I'm making it a meta table. So yeah, that's when we're gonna actually make it. So what this is, this meta method is that for meta tables allows us to actually have like a constructor. If you guys use any other languages, and what this is gonna do is that if we have we try to call some value on like a child, like let's say for the party we try to find like the party host and we don't have that, it's gonna look in here for the default and see if we have that value and set it to that. So next things next. Our new method, this is going to be when we actually make each object, we're going to call this. So this is going to be kind of like our constructor, what's going to happen before our default values, if that makes sense. So let's just push this in. And this colon, what this is going to do, this is going to let us have the self method passed in right away or automatically, so we don't have to actually call that. And what self is just the method that is being called. So what I mean by that is that party, in this case, is self. That's what that means. It's whoever's calling the method through the colon method right here. So if I made like a new meta table, like let's say new t for table, and then I said like local new mt is equal to set meta table of this table of new t. Let's say I did this. If I like made a function like new t, this table right here, and I used colon. What this is going to do is that, we'll say new. What this is going to do is that self, in this case, is going to be new t, not party. That's something I'm going to discuss more in the actual tutorial guide for object-oriented programming. But something to notice is that self is whatever it's calling it. So in this case, self is party. In this case, self is new T, if that makes sense. So it's not actually like when I first learned object-oriented programming, I thought it was this right here, like whatever this is or this, but it's not. That's something just to get clear. But yeah, so right here I'm setting a new meta table. What this set meta table does, or what a meta table even is that it allows us to have like this meta method, allows us to make object-oriented programming in Roblox. It takes in two arguments, a table and another table. And this first table is going to copy this table and make this new table right here, this new variable, a meta table copying this right here. I know there's a lot to take in, but party table is a meta table because we're setting it to 1. And then we're setting this empty table to take all the properties of this table right here, and we have the properties set through the index, if that makes sense. It's a whole thing, but this is basically pointing to here, if that makes sense. Then we're gonna set our default value, so our party host right here, party table.party host is equal to host or nil. This or nil is kind of redundant, so I'm just gonna actually get rid of this. And then the size limit is however you'd like. I set mine to 4. And then the members is the actual host. When we actually when we call it, we're gonna make the members the host. Then we're gonna just return the party table, this meta table, for our new constructor. Pretty nice, pretty neat. I'm gonna actually just indent this nicely, or something like this. Yeah. But yeah, these are our default values. You can add more default values if you'd like. You can say party table dot I don't fucking know. Like current members. I don't know. That's kind of redundant, but you can keep going on is my point. So now we have this other function, this method that we're gonna add on to this object. We're gonna add this method called add member. What this is going to do is it's gonna take in a member and we're gonna pass it in. And we're gonna actually hold on before we do that, let's get party data out of here. So this function right here that I made right here, this method, this is gonna return these values. And because we're passing in self, and right here this is self, we can actually access party host, which is the party table. We can actually access this and these values through this return statement, and it's gonna just return the data. So it's pretty nice. And I did this just for the client and the server, just to find a way to actually get some sort of value from the module, so we can use it in our local script and whatnot. You know, we can access for the later videos. We'll see. We can access like the who the host is and the members and the good stuff. But next up is the actual add member. Sorry, this member of we're gonna pass in member who we're gonna add, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna call self get party data because we set party data as a method of this party meta table. I know it's a lot of tables and parties and all that. Then we're gonna say hashtag party data or pound key members. This is gonna return the all the members, so like all the values inside this table, because members, or in this case members right here, is returning this members. I know it's a lot. It's pointing to a lot of things, and this is a table, so this is gonna just be a if I use the pound key right here in the table, we're gonna just get the how much values, how many indexes there are in this table, if that makes sense. So if there's 4 members, it's gonna return 4. If there's 3, it's gonna return 3. All that. And we're going to say if that's less than the size limit, which is right here, which is pointing right here, which is pointing right here, which is 4, then we're going to simply say table.insert into self.members, this right here. So this is going to point back up here, and we're going to insert that member, which is going to be whoever you like. And then else, we're going to say print party is full. This is for the next videos. We'll probably like send a notification to the player saying, hey, the party's full. And then I just put this print just to see what's going on when we add members. We can see it in real time changing. Pretty simple code. Then right here in the remove member, we're going to say party data one more time. We're going to get our data. And we're going to say if we find within the data party that members right here, which is going to point back here, remember? Member. We're going to just for loop. If I find the player, so if I pass in myself, if I find myself in the table, then I'm going to loop through the table in the members table right here. And I'm going to say if we find the value, if we find any value which is equal to member, then we're simply just going to say remove that value, and we're going to say at index I because we can't say v. Because table.remove removes an index, so it's going to remove whoever's at that index, and this value is obviously going to be at that index, so it's going to end at this index, and it's going to just remove from there. And then it's going to print out for us just so we can see. And yeah, that's pretty basic for now. I'll update this and I'll make it, and we'll make more stuff in the next video. I'll probably I did want to do a code along, but that would take really long, and I probably should have split it into parts to actually do that. And now I'm kind of complicated redoing the video to do so. Should I? Huh. It's all good. Probably do that. Actually, no, I'll do that right now. Actually, yeah. I'll just make it into. No. It's okay. I'll just make it like a read along. You guys can copy me. It's whatever. I do want to do code alongs, but it'll make the video way too long and everything. But yeah, let's hop into local script now. And this is where I was talking about. So right here, I just have this child to test it out. What we're doing here is we're gonna call this module the party module, and we're gonna call the function that we made the method new, and I'm gonna pass in the player. So I'm gonna put myself as the host because this is the host right here. And then I'm going to use the same method, or now I'm gonna use this table that we have, because remember this returns a party table. What this is gonna do now, this is why it's important we had party table right here, because now this is returning this value. So now what I can do right here, I named this CH for child. You can name it whatever you want. Now what I can do is I can actually add a member, and I can add any of the members I want. And I put Joe, and then I waited 2 seconds, and I just deleted Joe. So let's actually test this out. So if I'm gonna hop in the output, and let's see what happens when we actually press the button. Now this is obviously not gonna be the final, but we're just going to test it out for now. This is just for testing purposes. So party, if I hit it, it tells me right here, host is Sullivan Sawyer, which is me, members, which is me, and then right here we got Joe as well. I added Joe, and then remove Joe. I printed out who's next, who's in here. Just me now, no more Joe. And yeah, pretty basic introductory party system module for the party system. I'll probably using this blueprint. We'll actually probably do a code along. Yeah, I'll probably code along with you guys in the next videos. To be honest, I don't know why I didn't do it this video. To be honest, I'm in a rush. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, pretty basic, pretty easy. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too much taken. I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll have a lot more, and this is kind of the structure I had. You know, you open the frame, shows who's in the party. If not in party, then frame has a button that says you can create party. If it's in party by yourself or with people, scrolling frame on the side shows everyone in the lobby. And this is all the stuff. This is just my system, the flow, my how's it gonna engineer this, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.